Let me ask you a couple questions. If you could be any basketball player that's playing right now in the conference finals on either side, who would you be?
For me, it would be Jalen Brunson because he's playing at Madison Square Garden. I mean, I grew up in New York City, diehard Knicks fan all my life. To be at the Mecca at Madison Square Garden as the star player, I mean, that would be it. But the reason it would be Jalen Brunson would be because it's New York, it's the Garden, that's his home. If I'm just looking at a skill set that I wish I could have as skilled as he is, I'm an Ant-Man dude all day, every day. Anthony Edwards, the brother's spectacular. I think he's Jordan-esque. I think he has that kind of potential, and I think that if he ever gets to a point where he's winning championships, we will be talking about him being Jordan-esque even more. Not his mouth, because he will talk smack to you. He will get in your face. He will let you know, not to say that Jordan didn't do that, but he's clearly more conspicuous with his demonstrative tendencies than Jordan ever was. But the thing about Ant-Man, his athleticism, his fervor for the game, his willingness to defend, not just score, and that jump shot that has vastly improved over the last couple of years to complement his athleticism, his ball handling skills, his ability to get in the lane, etc. Ant-Man is spectacular, and he is a showstopper. And I think that if he wins the championship, he will officially be the face of the NBA. And that means even in the stratosphere of a LeBron James and a Steph Curry.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But he will, because his personality demands it. See, Jason Tatum's a champion, but Jason Tatum didn't have that personality. Ant-Man has that kind of personality. And so if he were to win a championship, it's not just about him winning the championship, Suzy. Last year, he sent home Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal in the first round. He sent up Jokic and Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon in the second round. He lost in the conference finals to Luka and Kyrie, then came back this year and sent Luka and LeBron home together. And then obviously Jimmy Butler. I'm not going to say Steph Curry, because Steph Curry, when he was on the court, they won game one. And he had 13 points in the first 13 minutes of game two before he strained his hamstring. So I'm not going to say Steph Curry, but he did send home Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. And if he wins this series, he would be sending home Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who I believe to be the imminent league MVP. So if he did that, and then, Lord help us, he played the New York Knicks in the finals, and he beat New York to win a championship, I think it will warrant that kind of discussion.
Now, if you are a coach/GM and you're building a team right now based off of one of these four teams, do you start with him, or who do you start with?
I start with Ant-Man. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is an upgraded modern-day version of George the Iceman Gervin, the Iceman George Gervin, who I love. Jalen Brunson is a superstar in this game, clutch player of the year. He's a closer. Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers, led by a Hall of Fame coach in Rick Carlisle, they are to be highly respected. But Ant-Man is a different breed. I mean, when you think about, the personalities might be different, but when you think about a Bird, when you think about a Magic Johnson, when you think about a Michael Jordan, he wouldn't be a Vince Carter if he won the championship, because Vince Carter never won a championship. You'd have to think about Kobe when you think about his willingness to play on both sides of the ball. I'm talking about Ant-Man here, because Kobe was willing to do the same thing for many years. Kobe was an elite defender. And so I look at those kind of things, the elements, the increments, the ingredients that come with being a face of the league and somebody you want to build around. I can't see how it can't be Ant-Man. On the court, he can give you 25 to 27 a night. He's willing to defend. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen every single play. And his personality is tops, is one of the top personalities, one of the top elite personalities in the game, which makes him incredibly, incredibly marketable. I don't see how you dismiss all of those things and say, I would take somebody else to be the face of my franchise. Not if he wins this championship. Oh, no. No. It would be him.
You think the immaturity will be something that he puts aside? Kobe, as you and I both know, wanted to be the face of the league. He wanted that to be him. You and I saw firsthand, like when he and Shaq would bristle at each other because they both wanted to be the face of the franchise. So I guess that's my only pushback with Anthony Edwards. I want to see him mature and grow into the role because I want him to be a role model. I want him to be the face. And I want him to want it.
Well, we have to be careful. You and I have had many, many discussions off there because we've known each other for so many years. Love you dearly, girl. And we've had so many conversations. And a lot of times I've told you, sometimes it's reflecting on your past transgressions that make you highly hesitant to step out front. So we don't know what he believes he has done or how he has behaved off the court in the past and what level of influence that may have on his future desires to be a face of the league. Because with being the face comes that scrutiny. And when that scrutiny comes your way, none of us want it. It's just that some of us run from it and some of us don't. But none of us want it. None of us. You don't want that heightened level of scrutiny because it's subject to interpretation. You might have done something negative, but in other people's eyes it's heinous. And as a result, it also gives people a license to get in your business, which a lot of folks don't want happening. And so when somebody says to you, the face of the league, the face of the league, the face of the league, you're saying no, because you don't want to invite the attention, because you don't want the responsibility. That's entirely different than feeling as to whether or not you deserve it based on your exploits, your and how performative you are, and what level of results you register compared to others who might be deemed the face of the league. I believe he believes he's on that level. He just doesn't want to invite the scrutiny on a personal level that may come with it for whatever reason. And that's his right. But fans also have the right to say, we don't give a damn. We watching you play, and nobody deserves it more than you. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm looking at him strictly as a basketball player. I think he's a good dude. I'm quite sure he's not flawless because none of us are. But I think he's a very good dude. But as a basketball player, he is a showstopper. And I believe he is the face of the league, and he should be.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.